Hey, it's Paul Masetta. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make when it comes to influencing and persuading other people is not asking for the sale. I see this all the time with novice salespeople, even the ones that were great presenters, they spoke well, they were articulative, but they would almost talk themselves out of the sale by going on and on and on about the features and benefits of the product, but never actually asking for the sale. Now, like everything else in life, there's a balance here, right? When we ask for the sale or when we ask the person to say yes, it has to be done the right way and it has to be done at the right time. So whether it's a sales presentation, a business setting, a social setting, a date, you have to ask for what you want, but if you ask too early, you could scare the person away, and if you wait too long, then they can just lose interest and you never actually get what you want. So what I want to share with you today is just some simple tips. This comes from my book, The Street Persuasion Playbook. I'll put a link in the description if you want to grab a copy of it. But number 35 is don't forget to ask for compliance. So stealth influence or flying under the radar is great, but sometimes it fails to produce the desired goals because the subject isn't sensitive enough to respond to the subtle techniques. So in these cases, you have to seal the deal by directly asking for compliance. Now, how do you do that? You're not going to say to the person, well, have I convinced you yet? Right? Because something like that is going to make the other person nervous and defensive, and it's going to make them feel like you're trying to trap them, and honestly, it's going to make you seem like a weirdo, right? So you have to frame the question in such a way that the other person is going to feel like they are freely giving their consent to go ahead with whatever you're offering. So here's a perfect example. I think this is the absolute best thing for your business right now. Should we get started? That's going to work beautifully because you're providing a positive fact as you're leading the other person to the final step of the influence process, which is agreement and action. The thing is, I got to remind you that this technique is only going to work if you've built up the other person sufficiently from the ground up, right? Like I said in the beginning, you have to have the right timing. You can't just ask for compliance if there's no rapport between you and the other person. You can't ask somebody to buy something from you if they don't feel like it's the right choice for them yet. And a customer can't say yes if the persuader has not shown competence and credibility. So you have to be able to accomplish the different steps that I just mentioned before asking for compliance. This technique is called the logical endpoint of all your efforts. And if it goes well, compliance will be forthcoming. In some cases, an excited subject might even volunteer to comply with what you're asking them immediately. This is when they say, let's do it, sign me up, here, take my money. That has happened before. Other times, they are clearly waiting for the question, but they never get it. So if you don't ask, who's going to do it for you, right? You don't get what you don't ask for. That's why you always take a chance and ask ahead if you have the influence groundwork in place already. You have nothing to lose if you ask, except if you ask at the wrong time. So, lay the groundwork, build the rapport, gather the intelligence that you need, and then don't be afraid to ask for compliance. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale. And here's another key tip. Once you ask a person to make a decision, shut your mouth. Don't say another word. In sales, we have this rule that after we ask for the sale, the first person that speaks loses. Again, novice salespeople do this all the time. They ask for the sale, and then as the person is sitting there thinking about what they're going to do, the novice salesperson starts talking again. And what this does is it opens up the door to give the person an escape to start talking themselves out of the sale. Once you've laid the groundwork, once you've done what you need to do in the beginning of the presentation, once you feel like it's time to ask for the sale and you decide to do it, Be quiet after you do it and let the other person speak first. I can guarantee you, more times than not, if you laid the groundwork the right way and you do what I just told you to do, they will respond with a yes. There will be times where they will object again, and then you got to go back and start over again. You got to address that objection, see if it's a valid objection, and then overcome it. But don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Like I said, all you got to do, click the link below, get digital access to this book, over 200 pages, over 30,000 words. What I tell people, what's so great about this book is that it's a tactical guide. This is not something that needs to be read in a sequential manner. This is not a blueprint on persuasion. I have other programs that will teach you that. This is a tactical guide. This is something that if you're struggling with something, or if you need to be able to do something in a certain way, all you got to do is open it up, look at the table of contents, and say, hey, what in here do I need help with? Do I need help with understanding how to tell a better story? Do I need help with over-delivering? Do I need help with using scarcity? Do I need help with actually asking for the sale? Do I need help with overcoming an objection? It's all here. With 101 ways to gain compliance from others, I can guarantee you there's not something in here that you cannot benefit from. Go ahead, click the link below. I'll send you over your digital copy today.